All right. Welcome, one and all, to the Off the Rails Sports Podcast. I am your host, John. And if you could hit that like and subscribe button, it means a lot to us. And we are going to recap the events for Wednesday, June 11th. And man, we have an NBA series. Man, oh man, everybody was going to say, oh, it's going to be a sweep, going to be a gentleman's sweep. Well, nobody told that to the Indiana Pacers, especially Tyrese Halliburton. They stormed back today, win 116 to 107, taking a 2-1 lead in the NBA Finals. And I will say, I watched the game. It truly was one of the most physical games I can remember. It harkened me back to the Detroit Pistons of the late 80s, and every play was a foul. It was, you got near you got near the basket, you got near the backboard, you were going to get hacked, and there was no call coming. And it was just amazing. I kept waiting for whistles, and literally there was none coming. There was none coming, and I thought that kind of game was very much going to play into the OKC handbook. They like just to get on you, get physical. They almost have that Pat Riley thing. If we do a foul on every play, then you can't call every foul, so we're going to get away with quite a bit. And I thought they were more physical, but boy, Indiana, they just do not give up. That team does not give up. And I give all the credit to Rick Carlisle. Let me tell you something. The Knicks, they're getting turned down more often than I would at the Playboy Mansion. They're getting turned down by Minnesota, Houston. Everybody is turning them down, right? Sorry. No, can't talk to our coach. Can't talk to our coach. I'm wondering, do they have to make a trade for like Ty Lue or somebody like that? I don't know. But at the end of the third quarter, the OKC Thunder had a 5-point lead. They were outscored 32 to 18 in the fourth quarter, and boy, Indiana won it going away, and I was just stunned. Personally, I'm tired of seeing Reggie Miller over there wearing a Mark Jackson jersey. Let's get something straight. Mark Jackson is a terrible coach. He, thank God, Golden State fired him, because then you get 4 titles with Steve Kerr. You weren't going to get 1 title with Mark Jackson. God, he was so close to being great, except he just wasn't that good of a coach. All right. So now we have the next game this weekend, and I'm not going to say it's do or die, because everybody is going to say it's do or die, but OKC really better bring it. They really do. It's going to be very difficult to be down 3-1, but it just seems, I will make this prediction. If OKC loses this series, they are going to get Giannis. They straight up are. They are going to sell everything but the kitchen sink, maybe even the kitchen sink, and they are going to go get Giannis. Because the problem is, in crunch time, I don't know who they're going to get points from, because everybody doubles Shea. Straight up. That's the great thing about Jokic. He could be at the top of the key, they pass into him, and then he can just pass out of it, or he can just score. He just lumbers down there like a transformer and puts the ball in the hoop. You know? Just what it is. All right. That is all for that. It seems like, oh yeah, the Mavericks also denied the Knicks permission to talk to Jason Kidd. I don't know where the Knicks go with all this, but I don't think it's going to end up very well for them. I mean, they're going to get a coach, but man, Houston, Minnesota, Dallas. I mean, who else are you looking at out there? You know, Miami isn't giving up Spoelstra. Ty Lue, is that a possibility? I don't know. JJ Redick? I don't know. I don't know what they're looking for, what they think they're going to find. Maybe they circle back around to Jay Wright, even though he said no. You know, you put $20 million a year on the table, it gets a little harder to say no. Principles go out the window when that kind of cash starts floating around. All right, let's go to Major League Baseball. Pittsburgh Pirates got a much needed win against the Miami Marlins, Florida Marlins, and Miami, excuse me. And Miami is, God, they're 25-41. How did they get away from them? But then I look over at Pittsburgh and they're 28-41. It's not like they're doing much better, and they got Skeens. Jesus Christ. Phillies beat the Cubs 7-2. Luzardo gets your win. He's 6-2. Not bad. Guardians smash the Reds 11-2. Allen gets the win. He's 4-4. The Braves finally got a much needed win by Schwellen. They won 6-2 against the Brewers. The Blue Jays finally they really are they're starting to play some good baseball. They're 38-30. Second place in the AL East. They won 5-2. Turnbull got the win. God, that's amazing. You wouldn't think the Blue Jays were going to be that good, and I actually almost bet them for the season total of over wins, and I think it was 82. And the only reason I didn't is I thought they were at that point they hadn't re-signed Vlad Guerrero, and I thought they were going to trade him. Well, hey John, go with your first instinct. It's usually a lot better than when you actually start putting your brain to use. Diamondbacks swept the Mariners. Mariners are now under 500. Brian and I were having this discussion not too long ago. He was saying, oh, the Mariners, I think at that point they were 5 or 6 games over 500. And I was like, I ain't buying it. I am not buying this Mariner thing because I saw them last year being 12 games over 500, and they barely missed the playoffs still. This team just does not hit well enough. You can do the Cal Raleigh thing. Wait till he comes back to earth on the second half of the year. Yeah, right. You're going to see. Angels beat the Athletics again, 6-5. Hendricks got the win. He is 4-6 with a 5.2 ERA. It was a battle. It was a battle all the way to the end, but Also, the Dodgers took the series in San Diego against the Padres, 5-2. Trevino got the win. I don't even know who this cat is. He's 2-0 with a 3.6 ERA. He's about the only Dodger arm that's really viable, I guess, at this point. I don't know. Dodgers have had just so many injuries on the pitching staff. They ran Kiki Hernandez out there for 2.25 innings yesterday, or 2 days ago, I guess now. But wow, and look who got the save, Vesia. Who's that? I don't even know. That sounds like a vacuum cleaner. Orioles beat the Tigers 10-1. Ellen gets the win, 6-2. He is 6-2 for the Orioles, and they only have 27 wins. In Zach Ellen we trust. God bless. The Red Sox beat the Rays 4-3 to take that series. Buehler got the win, 5-4 with a 5.01 ERA. I have a funny feeling they're going to trade him. I just have a feeling. Chapman got his 12th save. The Mets beat the Nationals. They shut them out 5-0. Peterson got the win. And I do not know how the Mets pitching staff is doing it. They are doing it with smoke and mirrors. But you know what? Whatever it takes, they are 5-2 with it. Peterson is 5-2 with the 2.49 ERA. The Yankees beat the Royals 6-3. And I'm going to tell you a little story here. I had the under. I'm in Vegas, so I bet some sports. I had the under on 9. It's 6-0 going into the 9th inning, right? Bottom of the 9th. I'm under 9. Nothing to worry about. First batter up. He hits a pop-up in the infield. The third baseman misses the play. How often do you see an infield pop? And I mean, this thing went 50 feet in the air. He missed it. I guess he lost in the lights, whatever. Next guy, Salvador Sanchez, or Perez, he hits a 2-run jack. I'm like, okay, I still got to run. Next guy gets on. The next guy hits a double play grounder right to short. The pitcher gets his glove on it, picks it up, throws it into down the first base line. The guy scores, and then they get the next 2 outs. Boom, it's over. I'm like, wow. Yep. There you go. I was thinking, thank God I didn't get 8.5. At least I got a push. Thank you, Lord. All right. The Rangers, behind Leiter, they couldn't keep their winning streak going. The Twins beat them 6-2. Leiter got the loss. He's 4-3 with a 3.8 ERA. I got to say, the Rangers pitching staff is actually pretty good. Astros beat the White Sox 10-2. And finally, the Giants swept the Rockies 10-7. And I was watching that game. And at one point, the Rockies were up, and it's literally they just don't have any back end relief. They really don't have much of anything. But in that sixth, seventh, eighth inning, I mean, it is just like open up the dam. Everybody just scores on you, man. Everything is cool. Just get the hell out of the way, right? Rockies, wait for it, 12 and 55. 12 and 55. They're 6 and 27 at home. And I was looking at their ticket prices. They got tickets as low as $6. Beer is 3. When 2 beers is equal to a price of a ticket, well, I guess in a lot of stadiums it is because most beers are 10, $12. So yeah, I guess that works. God, think about it. For $10, you can get a ticket and a beer for the Rockies. That's pretty good. I got to say, that's pretty good. Make sure you park about a mile away and walk it in. All right. If you could hit that like and subscribe button and, start supporting the Off the Rail Sports podcast. We're trying out here. We're trying. All right. Leave those likes and subscribes, and we'll see you soon on Off the Rail Sports Podcast.